Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's me. It's me. It's the MIDNIGHT Rider, baby. Bring it to you solo, live and direct on Sunday morning. And as we always call it, it's the Sunday Rise. And you got to rise up to be ready for this show, baby. If you're not ready, then I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? See the new background, Midnight Rider, brought to you by Arvin. They're not a sponsor, but they do my backgrounds, or I do my backgrounds on their page. But with all that being said, welcome to another edition of the Sunday Rise from the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Again, I am him. I am he. I am the Midnight Rider, flying solo for this part of the show. All my junkies are on assignment today, but hey, they say the show must go on, baby. So without that being said, or with that being said, I'm coming to you live. I'm coming to you direct. I'm coming to you solo. If you want to jump in the comments, I take comments, baby. I don't take requests, but I will take comments. But it's the Sunday Rise. What we're going to talk on is we're going to talk on a little bit of WrestleMania like night one. You know, the WrestleManiacs did a great job last night. If you didn't see it in their recap show, we're going to talk a little bit about NBA playoffs day one, preview day two. We have the mock draft. We're going to take you from picks 5-1. Getting everything set up for you the best way we can, the only way we know how. I'm only one man, but I got three personalities. I'm the Midnight Rider. I'm the Fat Poet. I'm the Human Google, baby. I'm giving you all of them in one show direct. So if you don't see three people on the screen, just know in the mind there's three people giving you time today. And with that being said, let's work our way into our topics, as we just so eloquently said. And the first topic, if we can get the computer to act right, is WrestleMania Night 1. Night 1 was beautiful, baby. It started out with Main Event Jay taking on Gunther. And Main Event Jay comes away with the World Heavyweight title. This has been a hell of a 2 years for Jey Uso. He went from being a tag team partner to winning gold on the biggest stage, and his character has kind of taken the Daniel Bryan effect. Like, the crowd got behind him every time he comes out. Back in the day, it used to be yes, yes, yes. Well, now it's yeet, yeet, yeet. And if you want to yeet somewhere, make sure it's in the confines of the square circle, because you just can't yeet on anybody in any place and time. The next match on the ticket or the docket, which was beautifully set up, was, well, actually, no, it wasn't beautifully set up, because I didn't even think this match was on the card. It was the New Day versus the War Raiders, and the New Day defeats the War Raiders. I don't know how many of you watch wrestling, to what extent, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If I'm the War Raiders, I just leave WWE, because I've been booked in the worst way. Now, of course, I know they have had some health issues. Both of them have been injured during their time at the WWE. But with that being said, these guys have been booked horribly. They have nothing behind them. They have zero charisma. Now, I'm not going to say they have zero charisma, but they have no build-up from the backstage. The characters, they come out strong one week, the next week they look weak. And this was their week to look weak, as they lost to the New Day. I do love the heel New Day. All right. It's one of the things that I've come to embrace. They went back to their roots, because when they first started, this faction was a heel faction because the way the crowd reacted to their opening or their first run. They became heel, and then after a while, after the Bootios and all that stuff came out, they became a beloved faction in the WWE. And that's how we got to this point now, where they went back heel, got back to their true identity, and now they are the WWE Tag Team Champions of the world, baby. So that's what you got there in that space. Next up on the card or on the ledger was probably the match with the best build-up. We had Naomi confess that she was the person that pushed Jade Cargill onto the car. She comes in, talks to Bianca, says, "I did it for you." That was my best Rikishi impersonation, if you couldn't tell. So she did the screw job or the turn for Bianca. Last night, Jade Cargill was able to get, I guess, her pound of flesh a little bit. But the one thing I want to commend in this run is Naomi. This Naomi we got was TNA Naomi. It was the person, it was the creative side of her, the person that was able to push the envelope. She bought into being the heel. She bought into being the terror. And the fact that she came in with the caution tape, she did everything to Jade Cargill, possibly setting up a possible feud between Cargill and Bianca, and possibly setting herself up because the fans reacted to it and loved it. And I think she's setting herself up for a decent run. You know, I think this is a beautiful day in the Uso household because I think Naomi has hit a spot or hit a peak in her performance and her ability that is going to make her stand out amongst everybody else. So this is going to be, I feel like it's a stepping stone to her doing more. Now, maybe she won't be in the world title reign, but maybe she can get a run with the IC or the United States title. You know, she can run in one of those champions. And that will be something that helps her move on in her career because I feel like she's stagnant right now. I know she's not a gatekeeper because her promos were on point. She was money and all of that. So I don't see her as just being a gatekeeper in this situation. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next match on the card. And the next match on the card was Jacob Fatu. And I think he said something like, "You're not Godzilla or King Kong because I'm both." And last night he was both. In this match between Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, yeah, there was a beautiful thing that happened. The synergy was great. I think you have the two most over guys in a match together. And I think this is one of those scenarios where wrestling kind of gets in its own way because the storylines become so intertwined that your two hottest stars end up facing each other, where maybe one could be on the other side on Raw with the IC title, giving the IC title life. But actually, we got Braun Breaker over there. So it's really nowhere for both of these guys to go. The mid card is crowded as usual. But Jacob Fatu, the werewolf, baby, came out, handled business. He took out the guy where everybody says his name, LA Knight. Yeah. But classic match, great athleticism. Jacob Fatu was born somewhere in a incubator or something because no big man should be that athletic, that physically gifted, but he is. And just get ready because in the next 2 years, he's going to have a world championship ring. He's going to have titles. He's going to main event Mania. He's there he's right for the taking. And the only thing that WWE needs to do is just stay out of his way. Don't confuse him. Don't try to make him, fit the format for everybody else. Let him be Jacob Fatu. Yada I mean. And with that being said, we get on to the next thing. And the next thing in this card on WrestleMania was El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. And El Grande Americano defeats Rey Fenix. And I think they had to do it this way to help keep the build on El Grande Americano. I think it's one of those situations where they have a bit, and you got to sometimes feed the bit. The bit is the bit, but you can't get bit by the bit. You got to let the bit ride its place out. And I like what they did, the whole thing with Americano putting the foreign object in his mask and everything. That's just his way and his style, and I like that. One of the best luchadors ever was Eddie Guerrero, where he lied, cheated, and stole. And that was in his theme music. So we got a little line, we got a little cheating, and we got a little stealing, a little homage to to Eddie Guerrero, one of the greatest luchadors ever, if not the greatest luchador ever. But the match wasn't that long. It was there kind of to settle the crowd down because you had all the big matches to open up the card. And then we came out with the Charlotte Now versus the Charlotte Next. Tiffany Stratton faces Charlotte Flair. I remember being on with the WrestleManiacs when this feud was started, and I told them that the way this was going to go is Stratton had to go through Flair. And part of it is a thing of getting her a place on the card. Like she had to step out of the shadows as the next Charlotte or the Charlotte remix. She had to be Tiffany Stratton. And I thought that was the beauty in the writing coming up to this match. I think it's why the promos got personal with these ladies in this setup. And I think also at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where like wrestling becomes wrestling. You know, you have to fight the next person to get the respect that you're supposed to. And I just see Tiffany Stratton as the next person. You know, she should have a 300-day reign as champion. You know, she shouldn't lose the title to anybody off the street. Like the person that comes up to take her title next has to be a brand, has to be a name. It can't be some fly-by-night superstar. And if it is, that's a total injustice to Tiffany Stratton. And I'll say it again, it's a total injustice to Tiffany Stratton if she holds this belt under 90 days. She's got to have a 100, 200-day reign. And it may not sound like much to you if you're not a wrestling fan, but just hear me out. The title has to get established. You have to have some matches and fortify the superstar. And if you're not fortifying the superstar, then you're not doing anything else. You're not building the character. And that's what we're doing now. She's built her character where she's at a point where she just took out Charlotte Flair, the person they love to put the belt on. And now she's the future. And they have to let her be the future. And if they don't, then they made a mistake in letting her beat Charlotte Flair clean like they did last night. And when I say clean, I mean without any interference or any foreign objects, okay? Then we get to the coup de grace. The reason we came to WrestleMania. It was Rollins, Reigns, and CM Punk. It was a great back and forth match the whole time. Every time you felt like, I think you felt the whole match that any one of the three could win the match. But if you were, what do I say? If you're a person that loves wrestling and you understand the game, I think last night came as no surprise to you. If you're not just a dirt sheet guy, you're a person that understands the psychology of wrestling. You understand how they set people up. Paul Heyman walking out of last night with Seth Rollins and him being the champ. I mean, not the champ, but him winning that match, I think says everything that you need to hear. It's everything. You had the two guys that he was their wise man, and now he's passing on his status as wise man to Seth Rollins. You got to understand that Seth Rollins was handpicked by Triple H many moons ago to step outside of the Shield and become the heavyweight champion. And it's only because Triple H saw something in this kid. Triple H believed. And that belief is still going. He's not hiding it. He's not dividing it. He's not doing anything with it. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania Night 1. Now, WrestleMania Night 2's got Cody versus John Cena. That's going to be a great match. You got the triple threat, Bianca, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. If you're not a wrestling fan, I understand. But this is going to be a night of magic. Those two matches alone are worth the price of admission. So if you have Peacock, get it, open it up, and get yourself ready for a good night of wrestling. That's all I got to say on that. And with that being said, I'll close out the niche part of the show, the wrestling part, and get you into the NBA playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, last night or yesterday, we had the first round of the NBA playoff series opened up. And in the first round, the first matchup was the Pacers versus I got the Packers. Good God, I can't. That's how much I got football on my mind. Is that I put Packers instead of Pacers. Let's make a couple of editorial notes on that. There we go. And show. And there we go. Pacers 117, Bucks 98. And I think sometimes teams, these young teams, don't understand the space they're operating in. Sometimes you can't wake a lion dog. You gotta let that lion dog sleep. And last night, the thing with Tyrese Haliburton and Dame Leonard last night, I think they woke the Bucks up, and that's going to be a problem. By waking the Bucks up, I think the Bucks may have just laid down and played dead for you. But now you're going to have a series the rest of the way. But in game 2, in the West, we go West, and we had a classic. This was a beautiful ball game. We ended up in overtime. The Clippers controlled the ball game for pretty much, it's a 48-minute game. For 42 minutes, they controlled this basketball game. And then they let it go. They failed down on the stretch. Got into overtime. I think it was 98-98 in overtime. And then we come out with a 112 Nuggets, Clippers 110. I told someone before, I think there are legitimately 8 teams in the West that can win the title. They can compete. They can win it. And the Clippers showed last night they have the heart. I don't know if they have the resolve, but they got the heart to win it. And this is going to be a good series. This might go 6 games. So keep an eye out for that for sure. We also had the Knicks versus the young up-and-coming Pistons. The Knicks 123, Pistons 112. If you don't know, 112 is where the players dwell. Ask Biggie. On a serious note, this ball game, there's a big run in the middle of the ball game, a 21-0 run by the Knicks that pretty much takes Detroit out of the ball game. Detroit showed their youth, but it's only game 1. So they got the game 1 nerves out of their system. I think this is a situation where, anything is possible. The Knicks aren't going to have 21-0 runs every game in the series. But, things happen, baby. We got guy, Matty Ice in the comments. Denver, LAC, great game. I totally agree. And then he says Detroit fell apart a bit. And I totally agree with that part. That's where we're talking about. Like that 21-0 run is where Detroit lost the ball game. And I think if they have, and this might be a thing where they need a vet on that team that has some playoff experience to help bring them in when they struggle in the playoffs. And then I know my emails, my mentions, and everything was full because of the T-Wolves. T-Wolves 117, Lakers 98. Let me tell you this. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right if you ask Kendrick Lamar. I think this was just a game 1. I think they came out. They didn't know what to expect from Minnesota. Now they got their feet wet. They know what is going on. And I think the Lakers it's not the bit, but I got the Lakers in 6. It's not the bit. You got to get in where you fit. And I ain't talking no bull. Lakers in 6. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get over to a real quick opening. And Maddie, if you're around, if you give me some cursory notes on the hockey part, I don't need to do much. What we have is the first round of the hockey playoffs starting. Give me a second here. So with the hockey starting, this is one of the, actually it's not one of, this is the best playoffs that sports allows or sports have. The NHL, today we have the Devils facing the Hurricanes at 3. We have the Senators and the Maple Leafs today at 7. and then we have the Minnesota Wild and the Golden Knights at 10. If I had to pick a game of the day, I would go with the Leafs and the Senators, just because these teams don't like each other. These I don't know if they're countries or territories or however it goes in Canada. I'm not Canadian. I'm not Chris Russell. I'm not a Maple Leaf Mafia crime boss. So I don't know how that goes. But I know Ottawa and Toronto don't mesh well. The fan bases don't mesh well. So you're going to get a pretty interesting back and forth between these two teams. This is gonna be a show. It's gonna be a big time show. And if I can, steal a line from the my man Jack Carr, I'm gonna have to put this in reverse because I didn't preview today's NBA games. So let me give you a quick update on what we have today on the NBA slate. I think we have 4 games, and let's just go ahead and pull that up for you. So today at 1 p.m., let's see if we can get back to the graphic. NBA playoffs. So back to the graphic. We got the Grizz and the Thunder 1, Celtics and the Magic at 3:30, and the Warriors and the Rockets at 9:30. Why do I feel like this? Oh, and at 7, we got the Heat and the Cavs. If you're betting, I'm betting favorites today. I'm taking Thunder, Celtics, Cavs. I think I'm going to take Warriors. I think the Warriors and their experience are going to steal game 1 and put the Rockets on notice. And then it's up to Ime Udoka, the coach of the Rockets, to get his team firmly planted in solid ground and make something happen and get things going. And Maddie agreed with me talking about Ottawa and Toronto. It's going to be ugly. I totally agree. It's going to be a fight. Not for your right to party, but it's going to be a fight. Both territories, both countries, however you say it, or states or whatever it is, they don't like each other. But back to the basketball, we got an interesting slate of games. It's going to be funny to see how this plays out. I know Jack thinks that the Celtics are going to sweep the Magic. I think people think the Thunder and the Grizz are going to be okay, a good series. I think the Thunder taking in 6. Cavs, Heat. I think the Heat just don't have enough weapons. They just don't have enough weapons. And then the Warriors and the Rockets, I think that's the perfect matchup because that's the old men in the gym playing against the new young guys and up-and-comers. So it's going to play out many different ways. But I think that's what it is for the most part. And Maddie, again, talking about Ottawa and Toronto, but ugly is good in this case. Ugly is good in a lot of cases. Ugly is good at 2:30 in the morning, you drunk, and you got to go home. You going home with something. So ugly is good in some situations. I don't know why. My bad. I apologize. Pay me no mind. Let's see what else we got on the slate. It's a quick slate. It's just me today. The fellas out celebrating Easter. They're on assignment. They're doing their thing. Anybody comes in, I appreciate your time. If you got comments, comment. If I'm not on the topic you want to talk about, throw in your comment anyway. I'm going to address it, and we're going to have some fun. I don't expect to be here long because it's just me. And I can't argue against myself. Even though there's 3 personalities here, I don't have time and space to argue with anybody else. So with that being said, we covered the NBA. We covered WrestleMania. We talked a little NHL. Let's try to, if the computer cooperates, let's get to our mock. So if you guys have been watching the last couple of episodes, you know that we've been doing the reverse mock. It is the KG special where we go from number 30 up to number 1. The reason why is because KG said so. Because I still don't get it. But I like it now more so because you got to think outside the box on every pick that you come up to. So, like, normally you have the process of elimination. So I can take certain guys off the board and get us down to, when I get down to 30, I've eliminated people. So I know kind of how we doing this. By going 30 up, what you really have to do in this process, in this concept, is talk about the plays you think. You're not making a prediction more so than you're just saying, hey, here's who I think can go here. So that's why having the needs up makes sense. But now that we're getting to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm not even going to make that LL Cool J reference. But now that we're in that scenario where we're going from 5, 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, the options have narrowed a lot, because I think we've talked about these people, not on this show, but I think the media has talked about the top 5 picks in a way that it's kind of easy for me to get to this part. And with that being said, let's go ahead with 5 and talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Maddie, I know we did your mock already, so I'm not going to try to jump on that or steal your thunder for tomorrow. Matt said you missed my Raider pick. Yes, it was Genty. I didn't even put the billboard up last week when we did it, but because I think there's no other option. I think the Raiders take Genty because it's Pete Carroll. He's a run game first guy, and then they'll open up the options for Brock Bowers and the rest of that Raiders receiving core. And I think in the second round, I think the Raiders have to go wide receiver. I think they have to get 2 weapons for their offense. With Brock Bowers, you can't feed that kid 90 to 100 receptions every year, every game. Every season. It's just you need something else. You need options for these guys. And if you don't have options, then you're just in time and wasting your space. But with that being said, okay. With that being said, I don't see why the Raiders would go any other way but Genty. I don't see why they would even want to do anything else. From just a standpoint, if you are all of a sudden you have 2 of the 3 pieces you need to make this work, if it makes sense, Maddie, because you got a quarterback, and he might not be a top tier quarterback, but he gets you by, right? You got a tight end who's an elite weapon. You got a running back now that's an elite weapon. So now you got 2/3 of you got 3 parts of your triangle, and now everything you add on the outside becomes something to make you more and more dynamic as an offense. You know what I'm saying? You get to be better because you have this dynamic run game. You have this dynamic tight end. You have all these other things in place. And that's it. Maddie, I like this. Maybe O-line just because RB is so deep. But at 6, I'm going to say it at 5, but at 6, I just don't think the O-linemen are worth being taken 6. I think the guys that are available at this spot, I know people talk about the Mambu kid or Mabau but yeah, I like Genty. I think Genty fits. And if you take the tackle, because maybe it's Campbell, maybe it's the let me get his name right. So because I don't want to be disrespectful to the kid. Give me a second on that while I research that. But I'm with you, Matt. I want Genty. I want Genty in this space. I don't see anybody but Genty in this space. But if you go outside the box, I think the kid's from Missouri. Let me double check. Give me a second. I'll pull that up. Get my crack research team on this. But I just don't see why the Raiders would go any other way. But Genty. I think the tackle I'm talking about is the kid from Missouri, Armand Mimbao. He's an option for them in that space. But Maddie, I'm with you. I think you take Genty because I think he's a dominant running back. I think he's like Gibbs. I think he gives you what you need in terms of the run game to be dominant and set the tone. And I think that's the problem that people back in the day when Detroit was picking at 12 and they took Gibbs, they didn't understand the running back that Gibbs was. Now everybody loves Gibbs and everybody's ready for Gibbs. So that's the thing I see in that situation. That's how I see that situation playing out. I think if it's anybody but Genty, I'm good. I question the organization, but I'll understand because you're getting the top 5 talent. And when it comes to top 5 or top 6 talents, I think you have to go with the best player available. And with that being said, we're at 5, and we got the Jags. Good morning, gentleman Jack. I don't want to. I know you've been on assignment this morning. I'm glad you had time to jump in with us.
Thank you.
I don't want to start the picks because you might have something you want to talk about from the recap. And so what we talked about earlier, we talked about the first day of the NBA playoffs. We talked about today being the first day of the NHL playoffs. And we recap WrestleMania. So if any of that you want to touch on, let's do that first before I get into the last part of the mock and baseball.
Well, thank you very much. It was WrestleMania. That's all I got to say about that. Basketball, man. Them Clippers surprised me last night. I thought the Clippers was going to get run out the gym.
Told you.
What was the other game? The other game was.
Give me a second. I'll pull you up. I got the schedule and the results laid out in the thing. So here you go. Here you go. So the first one was the Pacers and the Bucks. Pacers 117, Bucks 98. My thought process on this was I think the Pacers woke a sleeping giant with their antics at the end of the ball game when they closed it out and getting in Dame Lillard's face. I think Lillard and Giannis are going to bring them the pain, and they're not going to understand what's happening. But you asked for it. Well, I felt like at the end of that ball game, like Dame Lillard, if he could just come out to the middle and say, "Are you not entertained?" Because that's what it is. You about to get entertained for the next how many ball games is left in this series, and I think Dame and Giannis are going to let them know. Go ahead. Yep.
It's going to be Dame time.
Yes, sir.
Them some bitches done turn that clock on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I understand Indiana's young, trying to be all exciting and entertainment and all that, but that's crap, man. You don't. I mean, my opinion is disrespect.
Yes.
So I think Giannis gonna hang 50 on him. Dame probably gonna put 30. They're gonna score 80 of their 120 points. Watch. I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with scores like that. I think Indiana might have just cast their ticket out of the playoffs with that antics. I don't know.
Yo, hold on. Before we go further, I think I caught a glimpse of your shirt. Does your shirt say Brack-ish?
Yeah.
You guys show the people, Jack. Yeah, there you go.
It's a way of life over here on this shore. Brackish life.
Thank you.
Brackish is semi-freshwater, semi-salt water makes brackish.
See, what I was thinking is NCAA tournament, NCAA brackets, brackish life.
No, that's brackish. That's brackish.
Two different things. Well, again, you're the killer of bits, but it's okay.
Oh, man. I'm just trying to keep it real from the folks over here that created brackish life, man.
I got you, man. Nuggets 112, Clippers 110. As I said before you jumped on, I think, like I said before, I think the West is the one place where any of the 8 teams can make it to the finals. And I think last night the Clippers showed they're where. I just don't know if they have enough to keep themselves in this series. I think this goes 6 or 7, to say the least.
Like I said, the Clippers surprised me. I thought Denver was going to blow them out. I thought they were going to blow them out the gym. Porter was off like crazy, man. I don't know what Porter's problem was last night. And you know why I'm upset about Porter, right?
Bet. Parlay.
Bust my parlay like a mug. 3 points. 3 points. I only put you down for 10.
Hold on. We're gonna do that. Let's vent. Let's vent. Kyle Kuzma, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's been my dog too.
0 rebounds, 0 assists.
He just hanging outside the stripe, man, the 3-point stripe. He ain't getting near an assist, near a rebound. I know. He did the same stuff to me this year. And I kept saying, I ain't never going to pick Kuz again. But 2 days later, let me get Kuz 15. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. I can't score 15. Yeah, I know.
That's the least he can do.
Leave that.
It's nobody else.
He can't get one rebound. I know.
All right. I got that 30 session out. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I think the Nuggets are going to take them in 5, 6, maybe. I don't see 7. I think if because you saw a piece of Harden and Leonard playing their best ball games. I think if there's 2 stars that can like cheat their way to a game 7, it's those 2. True, I can see that too because Harden does. He has a ton of playoff experience. He's been there. He knows what time it is. I don't know. I don't know if they can. I don't know if Harden and them's counterparts can contribute enough.
Duly noted. Totally agree with you.
But here, the better team today won. Knicks was just on fire. The Pistons was up a grip though.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, oh man, what am I notes? I ain't prepared at all today, but I want to say the Pistons was up about 12 or more, and the Pistons came back. The Pistons went on a 20-something point run. I want to say they went on it's unheard of. They went on, I believe, a 21-point run.
Exactly, they did.
Unreal. I couldn't believe it. Watching it on SportsCenter was unreal too, because it's just like, damn, when the hell Detroit going to score? They went a long time without scoring. I think it was in the fourth quarter too. So, man, I thought Detroit might upset in this one, but I think the better team is going to prevail. Detroit just too young, maybe. Cade had a decent game. Again, a decent game. He had 21. I needed 25. Another parlay buster. They was killing me yesterday, so I'm going to take a break on Easter.
I've been killing myself this week. I live dangerously. Yeah, so I think I'm going to try to take it easy today. I think I got I may have 4 bets in already. I think I got the 1 to 2 o'clock slate in MLB because I like to bet slates. I don't like to bet. And you know what? Let's say that for later. And
all right,
wrap that up.
I take that back. I gotta put some cheese on my Celtics today. So
yeah, that's what to say.
So yeah, I'm doing something today.
Before we move on to your team, let's finish out with my squad. They got blown out last night, 117-98. I don't take too much from this.
Too much defense.
I don't worry about this because we're not a good game 1 team. Going back to, that's why we went in 5. We gotta give you the first one. We gotta be nice.
They're not sweeping the next 4. I guarantee you that. We can put cheesesteaks times 5 on that.
No, I ain't putting cheesesteaks on that. Because I said 6. If you missed it earlier. I said 6.
Put cheesesteaks times 6 on that.
We can go cheesesteak for cheesesteak, Lakers in 6.
Luka can't save y'all. Yes.
I will do the cheesesteak bet with you.
What's killing the Lakers in this matchup is a big man. They are just dominating down there, man.
I totally agree with you.
Their big man is just getting
used. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why Bron has to play like a 4 or a 5.
Exactly. But
and I think his level of basketball savantness will make him understand that he has to be a post player or play like a big and let Luka be a guard. Like, he's got to get dirty. He got to get down in the trenches and live that trench life. And if he doesn't want to do it, then we're not going to. We out in round 1.
He ain't going to do it.
Our survival. Our survival.
Next game if he did it, and they give him a gap between games this year. They're playing in the same goddamn city, and they got to take a day off. Come on, man.
Well, that's also TV.
Yeah, but that's crap, man. Remember, man, and I always got to go back in the day, man. They play back to back in the same city, man. You don't get no day off. The only time you get a day off is when you got travel. And nowadays, in this soft ass NBA, they got to take a day off.
TV.
Because I tell you, LeBron wouldn't handle playing like that. He couldn't play back to back because he hardly plays back to back. He's a chump.
TV.
He's a
you gotta let TV money get this. You can't have a joker paying $500 billion or $100 billion or whatever it is. I said $100 billion, $100 million for your TV rights, and then you not get the games the way you want it. So that's why they take that space.
The way you want it. I mean, you can do your advertising the same thing if it's back-to-back game versus if you have a day off. What's the difference in this day off thing?
Okay. So let's look at it. All right. So today yesterday you had 4 games on the slate, 2 on each conference, right? So now today you play the next part of the slate because it's 8 games essentially. Mm-hmm. You play the other part of the slate. That's why you had the day off, and all you do is alternate the days. And then it also gives the TV people. So what? I think last night was ESPN and today's TNT, or vice versa.
Well, yeah. No, they're going back and forth. Yeah.
I mean, basically, right now we got if ESPN has basketball, TNT has hockey, and if TNT has basketball, ESPN has hockey.
Correct.
So that's your slate, ladies and gentlemen, going forward. If you don't understand it. Is if you're watching playoffs and you want to watch hockey or basketball playoffs, the opposite team is on the other channel. So if you're watching ESPN and you're watching basketball, if you go to TNT, you got hockey. If you're on TNT watching basketball, ESPN has hockey. That's how this is played out. The problem is, I understand what you're saying, Jack. Like, it's different, but it's also different because you went from back in the day, you were playing a 5-game series as opposed to a 7-game series. That's the other difference.
Yeah, I like that they went to all 7s. I like that. I always thought 5-game series, a squad needed another game. You know what I mean? It's just, but I just don't get the skipping days makes the playoffs last 3 months instead of 2. I may be exaggerating a little bit, but it makes them last a long time, dude. And
I know it does. It's why when you talk about like LeBron being the all-time playoff scorer, like, you played all your series with like 7 games. So you got more games to get stats. I get it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I see it on that side too, yeah. But I it makes me no sense. There's no, I don't know. I think all the babying of the players and the day offs and stuff is trying to be key to have your good players play on the day when it's game day versus, back to backs. If that was the way it was, then the player would say, all right, I'll play these 2, take this one off and play the 4th one and stuff like that. So the resting is to get the players on the court so the people paying the money can see the players.
The resting is because we got TV contracts we got to pay out. So we want to put games on as much as possible.
I understand that. I understand putting games on as much as possible, but why is it got to take so long? Why we got to take days off?
We got to feed TV.
So TV just as good. All right, you put the game on Monday. All right, put the game. They got Monday night NBA.
You got 4 games on Monday. You got 4 games on Tuesday.
Monday
you got
NBA.
4
Then you
games
got
on
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
I get it. You want all the games on TV, but
yeah,
because back in the day when you played every day, all the games didn't get on TV, but we didn't have as much TV access as we have today. It could work.
Exactly. Back in the day, you only had like Channel 5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I'm saying with all the television channels we have today, it could work playing every day and people seeing their team play.
No, because then you spreading the games out.
Right, spread games.
You want to get the max. You want to maximize it, baby. Come on.
It's just a shame everything's about money.
No, it's not. It was to make the world go round.
I know it does, but I don't like it.
Come on, Wu-Tang told you back in the day, Cream.
Everything around you.
Gotta make the money, y'all. Dollar bill. Come on, man.
Everything around you. I know.
Hey, Perry. Good morning, sir.
Oh yeah, and let me put this in. Thank you, Matty Ice, for helping the Midnight Rider out. I know he can't do this by himself, so thank you for tuning in and helping him.
I don't know what you're talking about, dog. I did 30. I'm 3 people in one. I keep telling y'all.
I'm sure y'all did a quite fine job. I'm looking at all these comments. Jesus,
crazy.
It will be ugly but good.
That's he talking about the Ottawa and Toronto series in hockey, because we talked about hockey earlier. Dylan was happy about that Minnesota win. Oh, that's his guy. So his guy on Monday picked all the upset. Minnesota was one of his upsets.
Well, he ain't got one today. Promise you that.
Here we go, Perry. Cable changed everything. Everything's always been about the money. Yeah, because Cream gets the money.
Yeah, I know, but it still sucks.
I get you, man. So let's talk about today's slate. I haven't gotten your thoughts. I know already that your Celtics are going to win, but what do you think about the other 3 games? If you have any insight on the other 3 games, I know you Boston fans have like one. You know, your vision
just don't skip
Boston. You only care about Boston, but you know.
No, that's not it. But I'll start with the first game. The
no, because I know you got your Peyton Pritchard underwear on, and you're. So go ahead, man. Talk about it. Let's go.
Oh, man, I got my kangaroos on. That's funny you said.
Because
that's just funny. Boston, man, they're just ready. It's game time now. They're through with all the boring shit. They're through with the season. Okay, ooh. OKC the best record. Woo. Man, Boston could have had the best record. Man, they just bored with this crap. It's game time now. It's playoffs. So Orlando, as much as I love y'all getting swept. And I did this last year, and y'all said no. You look at how many breaks Boston got last year. They got 2 breaks. They swept twice last year. So Boston's just going to eat them up. That's period. They're ready. They're deep from 1 to 9. They're deep from 1 to 10. They get the whole nother 5 out there like they did for their last 3 games and dominate. So I'm telling you, that's going to be a sweep. Then you got this Grizzlies Thunder series. That's going to be good, man, because Memphis got some defense.
Yeah.
But I kind of but OKC, they've been fun to watch for the last 3 years. I've been following that squad, and I like that Chet Holmgren over there, OKC. He was hurt most of the year this year, but when he came back pretty strong. I mean, I don't feel that he has played up to his potential yet. I think he was still easing in, and right now, playoff time, Holmgren's ready. It's like the beginning of his season to him. You know, he was in and out, banged up this year. So I look for Holmgren to be a key in this series. I think it's going to be OKC in 6. I know that's tough to say for the number 1 team record-wise in the NBA, but the Grizzlies got some good defense and
like we said, I think the West is just tough. I think whoever comes out of the West, they got to survive.
Well, you look at it. I mean, the Grizzlies came out of that play-in tournament smelling like roses, man. They did. I didn't see them really having a problem in the play-in tournament, but they're gonna have a problem with OKC. They just got to be able to score with OKC. Their defense is there. I think OKC is a matchup that I think Memphis is a matchup that OKC didn't want really out of that play-in game because of their defensive prowess. But
I don't think they want to go to state either. I think this is the best part about the West is the West 1 through 8. You can't dodge. You can't hide. You got to fight. You know what I'm saying? This is break out your Gloria Gaynor CDs and I Will Survive because this is what's going to be in the West. You know, it's gonna be survival of the fittest. Mobb Deep, shout out.
You're definitely right there. And the West was tight. And the West was as I was saying about.
You said it earlier. The West was like a game apart. You know what I'm saying?
It was tight in the standings, no doubt. And they had some injuries on some of the lower teams in there too. You know.
Yeah.
You look at the change they made in Golden State. That there just overall made them a better squad. Picking up JB.
JB makes them a deeper team because he takes all the intangibles off of Steph.
He makes them a smarter team too, and yes. I think it's happening in the locker room, on the practice court, everywhere. People are just sponging off Jimmy Butler's knowledge too, and they're playing a little bit Jimmy way. I like it. I like it in Golden State, and I've always been a Jimmy Buckets fan. Always been a Butler fan, so I like the way he plays the game, and he's a playoff monster. Jimmy has been dominant in the playoffs in the past in certain games. He's been great. Held Miami through the playoffs in the past 2-3 years.
He carried them.
Miami, they didn't put nothing around him. They just tried to rely on the draft, and that's nowadays you gotta go grab a superstar when you can.
But I'm gonna tell you this much: I do like that kid Davion Mitchell.
Yeah,
I like him. He gritty. He dirty and grindy.
But you got Tyler Hero, who's like a faucet. He's hot and cold. Had a big game the other night. I give him dap on that, but you gotta, if you want to be a superstar in this league, you gotta bring your lunch pail every game, dog. You can't just collect your flowers every couple games.
Hey, let me hit these comments real quick because we got a funny one at the end. Perry says Celtics in 5, OKC in 5. Grizz ain't got Taylor Jenkins. I think that's the coach that he's talking about. And then Maddie, breaking news. I know we aren't to what you're eating yet, but just wrap the brisket and damn, does it look good?
Damn.
I
thought he was doing that yesterday. I guess he was
he seasoned it and marinated it last night, and then he was putting on. I think if memory serves me correct, 3:30 this morning, the brisket touched the green egg. And so we're in that stage of, the next wrap or whatever, and then
about
that's 4 o'clock, we should be brisket ready. You know what I'm saying? So Maddie, you gotta give us the picture with the brisket on the finger so we can see the snap. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see that overlay and that hang.
Yeah, even if we got in the car right now, Midnight Rider, we wouldn't make it up there in time. That's a long ride. I've done it a couple times. That's a long ass ride up there, bro. Yeah.
Hey, bro. I hit you yesterday. Because I was going out, but I know you're a planned person, and I'm a fly by the seat of my pants guy. So when I hit you up, I was trying to see if you would go meet me at Miller's, because I was gonna go to Miller's if you were available.
Damn, my boy gonna become a Miller's bar rat now.
Yeah, dog. When I get places I like, I always go to them. So
I thought about it. I thought about it Friday. I was there. I was in the area Friday. I was over in Annapolis, and as I was leaving the location I went to visit, I was like, "Go to Miller's for some grub. What's up?"
Yeah, I think next Saturday. I think next Saturday we're gonna put it in quotes. Temporary. I think I might be going out there on Saturday.
See if we can get the guys, man. We might make Miller's our official house.
Yeah.
Official ale house. What do you think?
And yeah, I'm with you. I'm down. Get our boy Mason, our bartender. We got an official bar, Miller's. We got an official bartender, Mason, and then it's the Sideline Junkies, baby.
We got to make it official, though. We got to get more junkies in the house.
I'm with you. And here we go. On the brisket update. Perry Jones, your brisket should be prime by this afternoon. Tight. Matty Ice is under 6 hours, and if Midnight Rider still drives like he did for Iraq, he might make it.
Under 6 hours? What you driving, a rocket ship?
Matty Ice knows. I used to fly back in the day.
Oh,
dog.
I fly today. Fly all my life.
That's why I used to love when my son lived up in when he used to live in Owens Mills. Like 95 was like God's gift to Ben Conti, aka the Midnight Rider, aka the Fat Poet, aka Human Google 10, aka Fat So-Called Rissian. All the nicknames included there. That's why, Jack, when you said I was alone, I wasn't. I got 5 personalities right here, live and direct for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And Matty Ice just kept me going.
True that. True that.
Oh,
I still don't see how Matty Ice doing 6 hours.
Yo, that
6 hours must be how long's on the cook, man. It can't be how fast.
No, I think he's talking about 6 hours is the ride.
Shit. That ride 12
hours.
Ohio?
Matty's in Ohio. It could be 4 hours.
I'm telling you, man, that ride longer than you think, man.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, I used to drive a lot, because I never dated a girl near my house.
So I'm talking about. That's right. I'm talking about my other relative. That's right. 12 hours is the ride to it's about 10 to Hold on. It's up there near Marshall. Up there in West Virginia near Marshall University. It's called damn, what's that town called? Oh man. But anyway, you know what Marshall University. That's a long ride, bro.
Well, I got you now. Matty says Midnight Rider, the only guy that got a Geo Metro to 100.
Oh, Matty on fire today. That's a good one. Geo Metros didn't go to 100. He must have had a chip for it.
Nah. Never mind. I'm not gonna. That's incriminate myself.
Nah, man. No. You're on a Geo Metro and you hit a speed bump, the radio skips.
But here's a story about the Geo Metro, because it's one of those remember where you were, remember where you are moments. And I remember 9/11 because of a Geo Metro. I was in a Geo Metro coming from one of our body shops, driving back into Tyson's Corner.
So these were rental cars.
Yeah, I used to work for Enterprise, rental car.
Perry thinks you was pimping one.
Nah, I've never pimping one. I'll get to this coming in 1 second, but no. So we were coming from I forgot the name of this body shop that was like halfway down Route 7, going towards Sterling. At that time, you thought it was in the middle of nowhere. But
where were you at? Falls Church?
I was in Tyson's. So I was working at the Enterprise in Tyson's. We had a shop that was like right in between. It was literally dead set in the middle of I guess Sterling and Tyson's. And so we used to go to that shop, pick up cars first thing on Monday morning. And I was coming back, and maybe it was a Tuesday. I don't remember the exact date 9/11 happened, but I remember 9/11 itself. And I was in the car, and I was in the turn lane to come back to our office when the first plane hit. Whatchamacallit? When the first plane hit the building, I was turning into the thing, and I had no idea what the heck they were talking about. Back then, that was Russ Parr and them. So you had to wait a little bit because, Russ Parr and them had a bunch of bits and skits. Shout out to Coach, the coach that was talking about somebody's backside looking like two wild mongooses fighting for respectability. Shout out to Man Asses Virginia and the Man Asses Juan, all that crazy stuff that he used to do on that show. But let me get this. Oh shit. Ryder's an old Metro driver too. Nah, dog. I used to drive the Geo Metro. There used to be a rental car back in the day. I used to jam 8 of my line brothers in my black Geo.
Yo, well, I'll tell you what, Perry. I matched that. We threw 9 people in a Chevy Chevette.
Ooh.
To go to University of Maryland and party. Threw 9 of us in there, dude. We riding down Route 1. It was crazy. Legs were hanging out the hatchback. It was nuts, man.
Yeah.
I gotta let my dog out. Hold on.
What do you think, baby?
Oh, there she go. She gone.
All right.
When Mama gets home, that dog goes nuts. Daddy gets home, the dog gets wagging his tail a little bit. It's crazy. But yeah, we did. We stocked 9 people. I wish my boy J-Dub was in the room today, but he's busy. 9 people in a Chevy Chevette, man. Shout out to Kathy Hall for driving for us.
Let's see what this last comment is real quick. Oh, damn.
We did, Perry. Telling you, we was going up there. We had to be deep in case we had to rumble. So we had to throw 9 people in there.
Oh, dang. I even forgot. Last week, Perry, I don't know what Perry's quoting, because Perry might be quoting from last week's show, Thickalations 3:16. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying Thickalations when I'm drinking, man. That's the second time you done did that. Oh, that's not cool.
I was trying to say it before. I saw you do it. Yeah, but you were doing it for fun. Mine was under duress, laughing out loud. But yo, yeah, man. It's funny how we got all these stories, man.
We done both, Perry. That was going to have fun, but we stacked 8 or 9 in that Chevette to go up. I'm gonna say it, to go up Cunyon Gardens and get into a rumble one time. We pull up in Chevette and they laughing like, how many dudes they bringing? Next thing you know, we out there 9 deep. They like, oh shoot.
Yeah,
it was funny. It was a memory that ain't never gonna leave my head.
I'm a before we get back to the football.
Yeah, right.
Drop something. Now I want to drop this. A little Nats talk real quick. Last night
we ain't done basketball.
Oh, you ain't done what else you got for basketball? If we ain't done with basketball,
we got we got the Heat and the Cavaliers. We got the Warriors and the Rockets.
I talked about okay.
Now you did. You right. I'm the late guy. I'm the late guy. My bad.
You're good. No, because I want your opinion. So give me your opinion on those. Let's go.
Cavs gonna bang the Heat out, sweep. I think the Warriors are going to upset the Rockets because of their playoff experience. Rockets young. I like Mr. Green over there. Mr. Green is bomb. He can score, but I just don't think they're going to be able to beat Golden State's playoff experience and the new Golden State with Jimmy Butler. So sorry if that's your luck.
No, I said the same thing.
Houston won series and done. Come back next year. Better luck next year.
And then what's the other 2? You had 2 more games left.
Nah, we already did the Celtics and the Grizzlies.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. My bad.
All right, thank you. That's all I wanted to do. Now go on to your little nugget you were getting ready to do.
No. I wanted to talk real quick.
On the Midnight Riders Nuggets. It sounds different when it comes your way, don't it? Don't it?
Yes, it do, man. But last night, I saw something I wanted to see. Dylan Cruz had 2 home runs. That dude Wood, James Wood, hit another one out Oppo. I don't know what he got in his bat. He ain't got no torpedo bat. But this Joker has I think 7 or 8 home runs. 6 of the 8 or 6 of the 7 have been oppo.
Hey.
I mean, I understand your swing pattern, but good God, the second he starts turning on shit, this dude I see 60 homers in his career. I mean, in the season for him in the next 2 or 3 years.
What?
The second he starts turning on him. You gotta think about all the parks that got like 317, 325 down the line. And this dude's exit velo was 109.
All right, remind me. Wood right-handed?
Wood's left-handed.
He's a lefty, okay.
So, but he hits everything to left center. So the second he starts pulling stuff and those short porches, dog, I can see this dude hitting 60 home runs.
So you're saying out of his 8 home runs, he's only pulled 2 of them? Or he didn't pull them?
He pulled one to right center. That's as far as he's pulled it.
Is that right?
He didn't pull it down the line. He pulled it to right center.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I've been following you about this. If the boy ever learns to pull a ball, I wasn't sure if it was Wood or not, but I mean, 8 home runs at this point in the season, man. You got to be happy with that.
Oh, we love it.
The idea he's not pulling and possibly getting more. I mean, I don't know. It could be the way people pitching him too.
It could be, and I think part of that is
a lot of people can't.
It's the fan in Midnight Rider.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because if he can pull it, then he gets more because there's a shorter fence going down the line as opposed to going to the alleys. You know what I'm saying? Most alleys are 370. 380. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but he's doing something that a lot of players can't do still today. A lot of players can't go with the outside with the pitch and go to the opposite field. So, I don't know. I'd be happy with what he's doing, but I understand what you say.
No, and I understand. It's not a complaint. I just think the kid has untapped potential. If he can just turn on something.
I've only seen him a second, a couple at bats.
This kid he's 35 to 40 home runs easy, but I think he can get to 50 or 60 if he can pull it. That's just how I see it. But the good thing for me yesterday was seeing Dylan Cruz actually get rewarded for hitting the ball on the screws. He's got one of the better exit velocities, but he's hit it to someone. You know how it goes in baseball.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it.
True that. No, you can hit a missile, but if it goes right at second baseman, you ain't done nothing. It's still an offer, so it doesn't show on a lot of stats for people too that see that. So tell me this: with these 3 home runs by these young men, did the Nats win?
Yes, and that's the next part of this equation because the Nats were up 10 or 11-2, and they end up winning the ball game 12-11.
That's why I was asking, did they win? I didn't see the end.
Yeah, the bullpen fell apart, closing out the ball game. They had to bring in Kyle Finnegan. He saved it. They won like 12-11 or 11-10, something like that.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time. I watched a little baseball earlier in the day, if it's a day game and stuff. But, with basketball on, for me, I have a hard time watching a baseball game over a basketball game, even though I love baseball. But basketball games just got more of a pace, more of a fun game to watch. So I tend to turn to the basketball games, the playoffs. And I know everybody's going to kick me and say, oh, NBA, you follow NBA. Yes, I do. It's basketball. It's basketball. If they put Korean League basketball on, I'd probably watch that. I love the game of basketball because it's always moving.
No. I mean, I get that because it's the opposite for me. If I can get baseball, so like right now, my big thing is MLB Big Inning Channel or the Big Inning Show, and I can see the 4 games going on.
What you paying for that?
Nothing.
Oh,
it's in my Hulu. Whenever they show it on MLB Network, it's MLB Big Inning. You get they give you 4 windows, and you can watch. It's kind of like a baseball's version of what's that? The red zone for the NFL. It's kind of the version of that.
Got it.
They'll try to take you to the big moments in big ball games, as it goes along. So yeah, I watched that before I watched basketball, and then of course with WrestleMania going on, I'll watch WrestleMania over all of that because
wow,
the rest of them are
wow.
Dog, I've been watching wrestling since I was 6.
I watched it when I was 6 too.
Yeah, but I never got out of it. Like I had my phases, and I'll be totally honest. I missed a couple stretches, but the second I got back in, I stayed in and watched it again. This is the time of year I normally fall out before WrestleMania because other sports are going on. But this Mania was so special that like I didn't fall out. So yeah,
Mania was special.
You stupid, Doug.
Trying to get up. It was special. Yeah.
I got that. Let's see.
Kick your beat you. Yeah.
Praise says NBA comes first for me, no question. Knicks game, then WrestleMania. I got you. Yeah. I mean, we all like that. You know what I'm saying? We all got out once. We got the things that we like, but for me, I had Mania on. I didn't see it live because at a certain point I fell asleep, and then I woke up
all day long.
Huh?
It was all day long.
No. WrestleMania started like about 7, went to about 10 or 11, but at like 9 o'clock, I punched the clock. You know, physically, my body was like, "All right, I'm good." I woke up about 2 hours later and went back because it was on Peacock, and I just rewound to where I left off and watched the rest of it.
So, does the wrestling joint do like the later the event goes, the better the matchups are, like boxing?
Yes. It's kind of two. It's 1/2. It's 6 and 1/2, half dozen in the other. So what wrestling will do is, because it's WrestleMania, they'll start with a very good match early on. So you started with like last night, they started with Uso versus Gunther for the world title. Big match. I know you don't know who they are. Big match. All right. Then they put the fillers in between it, and then they ended with Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. So it was a build-up. So you kind of started high, you kind of filled out the car, and then you got back high. It's like a roller coaster. Right. You get to the pinnacle, you come down the hill. They came down the hill real fast with the first match, took you through all the other obstacles, and then got you to a big finish at the end.
Okay.
And then I watched 20 hours of wrestling since Thursday. And Perry's the guy that I was talking about. I don't know who I was talking to. Oh, I was talking to this guy, Chris, at work. And I got to get him or see if he will talk wrestling on the WrestleManiacs. He does all that. GCW, whatever the different cards are that aren't the main. So let's say the main wrestling venues are WWE, AEW. Those are the 2 main. The next ones are like ROH, Ring of Honor, AAA, and a couple other places. Like there are a bunch of wrestling.
I like WoW.
Actions. Yeah, I bet you do like WoW.
That's the only wrestling I watch, bro.
Perry, GCW did 4 shows a day, Thursday and Friday in Vegas. Then 2 shows before WrestleMania, then a show at 2:15 in the a.m. after WrestleMania. Yeah, Perry is the dude. I think when I first started watching the WrestleManiacs, it was Nubian Sumo and Perry, and they were naming stuff that I had no idea what the hell they were talking about, who was in the wrestling organization. But yeah, I was like, these dudes definitely do their homework. Like, if you want to talk to me about some wrestling organization that's outside of the main 4, you gotta love wrestling. You got to.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
But Jack, let's circle back to this mock.
I
know you did the Maddie mock.
Oh yeah, that might help. Oh,
but we're closing out because last week we ended at 6, where both of us agreed on Ashton Jeanty being the pick for the Raiders. I think Maddie, well, I know Maddie agreed with us. So now we're at number 5. And at number 5, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars with the self-anointed or the anointed Trevor Lawrence as the QB of the future. They lost their tight end, Evan Ingram. I've seen a lot of things. I think in the Maddie mock, let me go. I don't want to do too much on the Maddie mock, but I've seen different mocks where the tight end from Penn State has been put here to give Jacksonville a weapon. Tyler Warren. It makes sense because they just let go of Evan Ingram, but I don't want to make my pick yet, so I'm gonna let you start off. Let me hit this comment real quick because I don't know if Perry's. Perry's just saying that's me and Sumo, of course.
Yep.
Talking about the wrestling thing, they watch everything. If it's wrestling involved, they might watch the mighty midgets of wrestling with those two. But back to the mock. You got the Jaguars. Their needs are cornerback, safety, interior O lineman, wide receiver, and QB. And I think at this pick, I don't think they go with any of these.
Nope.
Who do you have, Jack?
I think they're going to go with that big boy from Oregon, defensive tackle Derek Harmon.
Wow. I didn't have that guy. I had him much later.
I think there's
I get the sentiment because I think they go the D tackle from Michigan. I think his name is Mason Graham.
Yeah, I got him right close in my draft in my mock.
I don't see in 1 through 4. I don't see anybody taking a D tackle, and I think Graham's on my slate, and how I see it. I think Graham's the first guy to go. I think he goes at 5 to them.
All right. I like you.
No, because I like you picking Harmon because Harmon's like 6'6", 310.
He's huge.
When I think about him, I think of guys like Eric Armstead that used to go to Oregon. He's in that lineage. He's in that pipeline. And I think Armstead went to the 49ers in the top 10 back in the day when he got drafted. So I see the style and the fit. And I wouldn't argue down at any point about that pick. I actually like the pick.
No, I think he's just a humongous man, and you got to get the D linemen got to get bigger because these offensive linemen are getting huge bigger now.
Yes,
you're seeing 6'7" offensive linemen now, it's unreal. So that's why I like him there. And I saw you guys. I came in when you guys were on number 6, and I hit that spot on. I had Jeanty there as well as Matty Ice.
Well, we hit 6 last week. You jumped on that last week, but yeah, I didn't make a thing for it. I didn't make a banner for it because I thought we all was on Jeanty at 6. Okay. And it was like, why waste the time to make a banner with the 5 needs when everybody's gonna go Jeanty?
Got you. Yeah.
So
what I got left, I think everyone should have left.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's why we love the reverse mock, because the process of elimination sometimes works backwards as well as does going forward. So at 4, we got the Patriots. Patriots needs are O tackle, wide receiver, edge, cornerback, interior offensive lineman. Who do you have going 4?
The Patriots are going to take the best athlete available, the best ball player available, period, because they do got needs everywhere but quarterback.
Right.
So they're going Abdul Carter, Penn State.
Oh, all right. I think I know where you're going at 2 now. or 3.
Yep.
All right. So at 4, I got what's the old lineman from LSU?
Oh, come on now.
My phone.
You're the mock draft expert. You ain't got that knowledge.
No, his name just come on, dog. I'm also 49. Let's see. Where is he?
I'm 6. I'm 57 almost. I'll be 57 in another month. So don't give me that.
Will Campbell.
I can't help you.
I couldn't
bro.
remember. The second I said the pick, I was like, I think Will Campbell, O-tackle, goes here. They question his arms because I guess they're 33, and the ideal tackle size is 33 and 7/8 or something crazy like that. But I think that kid goes there. They get a lineman and they figure out where to play him after everything plays out. Because I think the way you got the board going, 3-2-1 is gonna be pretty interesting. So at 3, Jack Carr. The Giants need quarterback, O-tackle, OG, guard, cornerback, safety. I know that there's not a quarterback, corner, or safety available in this spot. So you got to either be picking a lineman or a quarterback. What are you doing?
The Giants, the G-men of New York, the New York football team, is taking quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Yep.
I think that should be the pick, but I think Cleveland throws a monkey wrench in that, and I think that the Giants end up picking Abdul Carter.
Okay.
And from Penn State, I think that's where he goes in that spot. And I think 2 now becomes really interesting because you got Shedeur at 3, but you got a 2.
At 2, I got one of the most dynamic players in college football last year.
Yes.
2-way player. I got Travis Hunter going to Cleveland. I think Cleveland gonna wait till next year to get a quarterback, man, or in the later rounds. So there's some decent quarterbacks that can be picked later and be coached up in Cleveland, hopefully. But I think their quarterback home run's probably gonna come next year if they continue to suck.
I'm totally
and here's something I also think too. Now I'll say this for Maddie's show.
So you're withholding content. Oh, wow.
I've been invited to Matty Ice's Drive Time on Monday, 5 p.m. Check us out. We got a mad draft show going on.
All right, so Matty
I seriously think Cleveland's going to trade down.
I think here we go. So let's go to the comments. This any spot seems to be one of someone wanted to trade up if they could. I totally agree.
I think they're going to trade with Cleveland and go up.
Nope.
And guarantee they get Carter.
Nope. I think this spot, this is a rider outside the box. We're shooting for the moon. Because the Atlanta Falcons like to do this. The Atlanta Falcons like to take their shot. I think the Falcons will trade up from 15 into this 3 spot and take Abdul Carter for themselves.
Ooh.
So you can write that down.
They could use that.
Yes. I think this is a spot where a team, because 1 and 2 go out, I think a team like the Falcons or a team that's desperate for a pass rusher, they trade into the 3 spot because I don't feel like New England sold on what's left at 3. But of course, when we do mocks, we don't do any trades. But I think this is a spot where, yeah.
All right, I got you written. I got you in my notes. We'll see what's up. I do think they're going to be a trade at the top here somewhere.
Yes, I totally agree.
Somebody's
Cleveland's where the draft starts. Maddie says, I'll be shocked if Giants take Sanders. I'm shocked too because I don't think they plan for it. Go ahead. I heard that. Why? You got. What do you have in the building? You have Russell Wilson and who else in the building? You signed 2 quarterbacks into your building. Why would you take a quarterback here instead of just letting the average quarterback fail?
You can let one of them quarterbacks walk, bro. Kick rocks.
But you signed them both this offseason.
Still don't mean you can't tell them to kick rocks.
But then you take the hit. You take the cap hit.
Neither one of them making a lot of money.
Okay, I'm with you.
I mean, I certainly think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be nothing what we say from 3 to 5. It's going to be a lot of jumping.
I think from 3 to 5, it's going to change so much that like what we're doing is just cursory information, and like we're just filling out the bracket to fill out the bracket. Yeah,
I agree.
Maddie says just can't see Giants passing up Carter at 3 for Sanders. I totally agree, but I don't even think they take Carter there. I think they sell that. I think they sell the soul for that.
Well, that's the reason I got it, because I think Carter's going to be gone.
I know. So let's get to 2. 2 is edge, QB, OT, wide receiver, and running back for the Cleveland Browns. And if I know Jack Carr the way I think I know Jack Carr, this is where he drafts.
Jackson Dart.
Hell no.
Man, everybody knows this Cam Ward, dude. I mean, shit. Tennessee got a house for him and everything.
Oh, Jack. We're at 2.
Oh, at 2 is going to be Travis Hunter.
Okay. I was about to say, hold on.
Oh, I thought I already said it because I said the most.
You did. I'm sorry. We got
you interrupted.
I got thrown off. That's me. Yeah, I got Travis Hunter here at 2 also. I think there's no way they can't go Travis Hunter. So at 1, not to kill your theatrical interest on this, but you had at 1
Cam Ward. They're seeking a franchise quarterback, and it seems as though Cam Ward is that guy. I think another quarterback's going to be a better quarterback in the league, but
you think Shedeur? No. Let's talk, because you have a firm belief that you think Shedeur is better than Cam.
I do,
and I don't want you to like not speak on that because of the draft process. Like, there's the draft, and then there's your thoughts. And for me, I think Cam is 1. Part of that got solidified by just, and this is what I miss, is I used to have these conversations with Pete Medhurst, rest in peace. Like, I'd send him certain guys. I'm like, hey, what you think about this? Or we'll have certain random conversations because I know he's a big college guy. And I missed that after he passed away, that I couldn't like take certain takes that I had and bounce them off of him. Maybe I'll bounce them off of his guy Joe Mill, but yeah, like I have a thought process. So my thought process early was Shedeur was 1, Cam was 2. And then when I talked to him, yeah, he convinced me that Cam was the 1, and then Shedeur was 2. So let's see. Comment on the side.
It's gonna take you a minute.
Got to get lawn mowed before guards get going. So quick rapid fire for me. Drive time tomorrow. Big show with the peoples mock draft with a lot of guests. And my hockey panel is back for the NHL playoffs breakdown. Join us. Eating the brisket around 3, and mac and cheese will join the smoker. Enjoy the holiday and sports on today. With that being said, I guess we got to get to. Excuse me. Whew, baby got gas. Where is it at? Can you, Jack? Can you pull the "What are you eating" joint up?
Yeah,
that's where we are.
Jesus Christ. You guys got a ton of runners in there.
Hey, I had to put runners in there because it was just me, baby. So here we are. That part of the show where food becomes king.
Yep. I can hear my girls in there now. They just made a little late run to the grocery store to get some last minute things. We're getting down with some honey baked ham.
Ooh.
And some mac and cheese. And we're going to have some green bean casserole. What else we have? And we got something else. Some biscuits. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a nice little Easter dinner. I got my in-laws. Got my in-laws coming over. I hate calling them in-laws because in-law is such a bad word in some people's mouth. Right. My in-laws are great. I love them to death. I'm family. I've been a part of their family more than half my life. So, yeah, I'm happy to have them come over. Got to give my mama a call. And, that's about all I got left to do today. Eat some good grub, hang out with my family, and talk to my mama.
Yeah, I think I'm doing, well, it's not even I think, I know I'm doing my split chicken breast with the onions and peppers. If I have some time and I pay attention, I'll do some rice. Otherwise, it's just split chicken breast. Throw them on like about 350. Let them marinate and cook for like about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we good to go.
Let me ask you about your rice. I hear you say it. I
hate rice. Rice is my, like, if
well, that's where I'm going, I think.
If I'm Batman, rice is my Joker. Yeah.
It may be because of the reason I'm going to bring up. How you cook your rice? You cook it in a microwave or you make it on the stove?
Not doing it on the stove, but most of the time I have like the instant rice type of joints.
That's what,
with the little bags or whatever. Sometimes I'm spot on and like the rice is money.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if I do the microwave version, yeah, it's a little too, I don't like that. So
yeah, me too. We do the microwave version on the quickness around here.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because rice, successful rice cooking, and that's on my part too. I'm not just throwing this my wife's way. Successful rice cooking in this house just doesn't work well. I don't know why. I even had a rice cooker at one time.
No, I actually told whoever my future girlfriend is, because Jack Carr and Chris Russell say I'm a womanizer, and we're not going to talk about that. But
oh, my bad. I'll put that on TikTok too.
I know, it's all good. No, I don't have a girlfriend, but you're good.
You're right. No, you got girlfriends, so my shit was correct. I've been there, player.
No, the rice thing is always weird because there's the moment where I get the rice right on point, and then the other times it's like I miss either too much or too short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now you know food's hard to cook when they make a device to cook it and sell it in stores. You know what I'm saying? Only few things I can think of is a crab steamer. What else has a name of the food you're cooking on it to describe
the rice cooker? Yeah.
So it's a difficult food to cook, man. I suck at cooking rice, man. I don't know what it is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that point where we're gonna wrap this up. I'd like to thank the gentleman Jack Carr for jumping in with me. I know we was on assignment today. We had a good time, a great time. With that being said, we don't do, I guess, no overtime, even though we're at an hour and 34 minutes.
It was draft.
But hey, who cares?
Draft show special.
I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the gentleman Jack Carr. We are brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. If you don't know, but if you do know, we'll be back Tuesday Night Flight. We'll be back Wednesday in the passenger seat. We'll be back Thursday for possibly our mock draft or our pre-draft special. Don't know how we're doing that. Depends on what time the draft starts. And then we're back around the turn with, I missed Monday with the drive time and Matty Ice doing his mock draft the only way he does it. So we got the shows, man. Just come in, click like, subscribe. If you want to do a radio version, do Odyssey app and check us out. Because we here and we're gonna be around. Go ahead.
No, that's true. You know, if you don't catch us one day, catch us the next day. We got what? 8 shows in 6 days of the week that you can pick from.
I think it's 7 shows in 6 days.
Yeah, so check us out if you miss us. You can always catch something. Only day we not banging is Friday. Friday's chill day.
Hey, speaking of which, with the springtime coming up, I know people need some mulch. Do we have a mulch guy?
Mulch Man. You go see Mulch Man over there in Pasadena, Maryland. He's at 8217 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard. He got mulch in all different colors. I recommend getting dyed mulch. That wood mulch got some stuff in it you don't want. I'm telling you, believe me. I've been in the business. So he got stone, he got gravel, he got any old project, anything you want for a project around your house. So check out Mulch Man over there, 8217 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard in Pasadena, Maryland. He's our guy.
That's right. So from the Sideline Junkies to you, enjoy your Easter. I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the Gentleman Jack Carr. We are out of here.